Hi there, friends. This is my video for the week April 6th through April 10th. I'm going to go through our packet of work and try to give a little explanation on any of them that need it, but the whole layout is similar to what it was last week. So, let's go through a typical, what we would do on Monday, which you probably will not do till Tuesday, but that's all right. You can do it whatever day you need to. So, the first day we are doing this little worksheet, and it's the egg is. And what you will do is you'll make 4 different sentences by using the 4 words in the first box, one word, and write egg is. Like you can write my egg is hard. Her egg is small. The egg is pink. Your egg is pretty. Make 4 different sentences and change the beginning and the end of the sentence. For math, it's a nickel worksheet. You are going to count how many nickels are in each jar. And remember, guys, a nickel is worth how much? 5 cents. So what are we going to count by when we do our nickels? We're going to count by 5s. So in the first one, you would count 5, 10. And then over here at the side, you would find 10 cents, cut it out, and glue it on the jar. And continue to figure out how much money is in each jar. For language, you're going to introduce the sight words, and your sight words this week are ate, eat, into, and must. And you can pick any of the ways from that sheet to practice them. You'll work on your readers, practice reading, and read a couple pages. And then you have this book called What is Wrong with Max. You're going to read that story, and then you have a reading comprehension page after that to answer questions about the story and look back at the story to find the answer. And some of them are you thinking about what you think would happen in the story, or what do you think would come next. So the first 2, the answers are in the book, and 3 and 4 are asking you to think what you think would happen. And then for our social and science that day, we're going to talk about spring. So you're going to fill in each square. Spring feels like. When I think of spring, in the spring I smell, and then draw a picture of spring. So spring feels like. Sometimes you can think of how does it feels warm. The air feels warm. Or it feels windy because you can feel the wind blowing through your hair. When I think of spring, I think of butterflies flying around. I think of flowers blooming everywhere. I think of grass turning green, leaves turning green. There's so many things. In the spring, I smell. What do you smell in the spring? Go outside, sniff, see what you smell, and then draw a picture of it. Okay, now we're on to Tuesday. Tuesday is kind of the same thing with just writing sentences. I like then use flower. I like the chick, and I like the tree. Use a different word at the end. And remember, when we write a sentence always begins with an uppercase, finger spacing in between words. Watch your upstairs, your downstairs, and your basement. And then always, what's at the end of a sentence? Punctuation. Okay, so for math, for Tuesday, we have word problems. It's where it's a paragraph and you read it and then you turn it into a math problem. And you have to decide on this one. Are we adding these together? Or are we subtracting because some either flew away or went away? So you have to do the plus sign if we're adding them together because they came together. Or if some were like, how many have left? If it says how many have left, that means that some were gone. So then you're going to use subtraction. So I want you to read the problem and then turn it into a math equation. Also for math on Tuesday, I want you to practice ordinal numbers. And ordinal numbers are picking out in a lineup. If you have a line of cars, a line of dolls, you can line up any kind of toy you want. And I want someone to ask you to pick the 5th toy, the 2nd toy, the 10th toy, just so we can learn those when things are in order and learn those phrases: 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Then for language, You'll review your sight words and some of your first semester ones. You'll do your readers, and then we'll complete the SH digraph sheet. Now remember, when S and H are together, it makes a new sound, and when the new sound is shh, and it can be at the beginning of a word and it can be at the end of a word. So you will color in the squares first that has SH words. Then you will read the words on the wheel and then write them over here at the side. And then you will take the words down here at the bottom in the word bank and write them in the right place. It shows you if there's a letter that is in the basement. That will help you figure out what word it is if the letter is in the upstairs. So you'll have to look at it and try to figure out which words belong in which spaces. And then you will have a Scholastic reader to do that day. Just read through it, and there's usually something to do on the back page. So then we're back to Wednesday. On Wednesday, you'll do a journal entry. You'll write the date at the top, and then you'll write the sunshine feels. And then I want you to complete that sentence. The sunshine feels. An example could be the sunshine feels warm on my face when I'm going for a walk outside. So, and remember, a sentence starts with an uppercase, finger spacing between the words, and what does a sentence end with? Hopefully everybody is saying punctuation. For math, we are going to skip count by twos. So you're just going to put them in order. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. And you'll just cut these numbers out and glue them in order. And then you will do the dot to dot down at the bottom and do by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Let's see. And then also practice counting to 100. You can find little items around your house, cereal or anything small you have, and practice counting to 100. It takes a while, but I know you guys can do it. On Wednesday, you're going to review your sight words, and I want you to read for 15 minutes. Find any book you have at home. This is a book of your choice. And remember, we've talked about different ways you can read. You can read by reading the words. You can read by reading the picture, or you can read by retelling the story that you already know, by looking at it and retelling the story because you've heard it so many times. And then you're going to have a read and sequence sheet. You will read the story and then cut out the pictures and put them in order. Really pay attention to the story. Look at it carefully and figure out what happened first, what happened next, and what happened at the end. The beginning usually introduces the story. The middle is kind of what happened, and the end is the conclusion. And then I am sending, it has several sections to it. It's kind of the story of Easter, but it's really big. So if you want to use this, or you can use one you have, that's fine. You can start this on Monday or Tuesday and read a little bit of it each day. It's kind of broken down into, I think, 4 or 5 parts. The story of people waving palms to Jesus is the first. The Last Supper is the second part. Then Jesus prays is the third part. And then Jesus dies on the cross is the fourth, and Jesus is alive is the fifth. Oh, Jesus loves you. So there's several parts to it, so you can read a part a day, a couple parts a day, however you would like to do that. All right. Then we get back to Thursday, journal entry. My favorite weather is. Tell me what your favorite weather is, but just don't tell me my favorite weather is snow. Tell me why that's your favorite weather. I like it when my favorite weather is when it snows because I like to build a snowman. So no matter what your favorite weather is, or sunny weather, I like it when it's sunny out because we get to go swimming. So tell me why it's your favorite. Then you are going to do a subtraction sheet. And remember, on subtraction, you are taking, say you have 10 minus 4. So you have 10. And you're going to take away 1, 2, 3, 4. How many are left? 6. Okay, so subtraction is take away. Think about it. I had 10 apples. I ate 4 of them. How many are left in the basket? That is subtraction. So you have several subtraction problems. And you can use the number line at the top. Just start at, if it's 10 minus 5, start at 10 and go backwards, but don't count until you've done a hop. So you'll count 1 when you get to 9, 2 when you get to 8, and so forth and so forth and so forth. Count how many hops until you get to the answer. So you can use the number line to help you with subtraction also. And also, I am providing this little ruler. I want you to go around the house and measure things. And remember, when you measure something, let me see if I have something here. You always have to make sure that the end matches up. You can't start at 1. You have to start at the end of the ruler. And then you look where it ends. And so this right here is about 4 inches. 4 inches long. So I want you to go around the house and measure some items and see how long things are. All right, for Thursday, you can review your sight words. You can do Success Maker on the computers, which is for language. And I did forget, I think I had, on Monday, do Success Maker Math. And then we have a middle vowel worksheet. You are going to say these were the pictures and figure out what sound you hear in the middle. There's CVC words, consonant, vowel, consonant. And I want you to practice, have someone tell you a bunch of words first, like van. What is that middle vowel? A. What's harder is the E's and the I's. So let's find some words that have E and I in the middle, because like pen, sometimes they hear pin instead of pen. And you have A, I, O, U, E down at the bottom to cut out and glue in each place. If you don't know one, do the ones you know and see what letters left and see if you can figure out what the pictures are. All right, and then that afternoon, Thursday afternoon, you have a special art project to make. And I think, you're going to tell the Easter story by making an Easter wreath. You have all the pieces to make this. You will put what happened first and then the picture that goes with it. So there's words in a picture. It goes, Jesus enters Jerusalem. And then there's the palm leaf. Jesus prays, the praying hands. Jesus dies on the cross. And there's the cross. Jesus is resurrected. And there's the tomb with the stone. And Jesus ascends into heaven. And there's Jesus up in heaven. So you'll have all these parts in there to make. You'll color it. Then you'll glue it on. And you can tell everybody the story, the Easter story with that. All right. Moving on to Friday. So Friday is Free Draw Friday. So write the date at the top in your journal, draw a picture, and then I want you to write a full, complete sentence about your picture. Remember, first word is uppercase, finger spacing, and punctuation. For math on Friday, you are going to complete this half-hour sheet. Okay, so remember, you draw the short hour hand first, and it goes to the first number. So on the first one, it would be 7. And then if it's 30, the long minute hand points down to the 6. And if you need to, use that clock that we sent home last week and move the hands on your clock to find the time first before you write it. And then the next clock, you have to write the time. So you look at the short hour hand first and write that number. And if it's pointed down to the 6, you write 3030. So that is what you'll do on that timesheet. And then I also on Friday want you to see if you can ask your parents if you can get a pile of change. And then I want you to sort it into pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters. And then I want you to tell someone how much is a penny. Which one is the penny? How much is it worth? 1 cent. Which one is the nickel? How much is it worth? 5 cents. Which one is the dime? How much is it worth? 10 cents. Which one is the quarters? How much is it worth? 25 cents. And then we are on to Friday. On Friday, we have a reading comprehension. So you're going to read the story, and then you're going to answer questions. You have a question, and then you fill in the circle in front of the word that answers the question correctly. And also, you will take your sight word test. Your parents will ask you these sight words, and they just need to mark down which ones you knew or didn't know and send that back to me. So that's how I will keep track of your sight word grade. And Friday, you can also get onto the computer under Epic, and you have that sign in, and you can do the book Weather in Spring. Then for the afternoon time, I have this little kind of game, and it's the Road to Easter. What happened during Holy Week? And down here are all the different pieces, and you can read them and figure it out together with your parents. What happened first as the events happened leading up to Jesus dying on the cross, and then Jesus rose again. So I want you to read them all and figure out, what do you think happened first from the story. And you may do this later in the, and if you haven't finished all the story by Friday, you can do it Saturday or Sunday. It's even a fun Easter thing, because I know a lot of us are going to be stuck at home for Easter this year. So that covers the majority of the stuff I have for you this week. Also, you do not need to send back any science, social studies, or art project. I have so many papers to grade and stuff, so I'm going to focus on actually grading and checking the language, the math, and then any of the morning writing worksheets. So send all that back when you do send it back each way, and then after I've checked it all and made my little notes, I'll send it back in the next packet. And also, before Tuesday morning, if you've finished a reader and need a new one, just send me a quick message and say, hey, we finished a reader, will you put a new one in there? And it sounds like you guys are doing amazing. I miss you guys so much. I want everyone to have a very, very blessed Easter. And if you have any questions at all, just send me a message, text me, send me an email, whatever's easiest for you. And throughout the day when I get breaks, I will check them. So have a very blessed Easter, and I miss you guys. Bye.